Hello, welcome to Brett's Harper podcast. It's always this like momentary angst you get when you choose to get online and jump on a video and create new content and try and have everything as prepared as possible in the way that you can. But chances are you're just gonna, trip up as soon as you start. I guess it all comes down to your confidence, doesn't it? So, but yeah, welcome to welcome to another live stream that no one's actually watching. So let's just double check. I'm going to load in to make sure that it is all working. Oh yeah, it's good. It's good when it actually works. I'm really glad it does. I'm going to quickly share this because you never know who's going to be, on, looking at your stuff, who's going to be there to support you. And because I like to be, not so much like a showboat, but at the same time, it's good to got to get yourself out there, don't you? Got to get the support of friends and family and whoever might be interested overall. And that's always, it's not a bad thing, is it? But I've been told as well that if you self promote to family and friends, that can actually stuff up your all the analytics on your channel as well. Yeah, I guess I'm still at my infancy with regards to actually doing that in terms of yeah. It's interesting to find out. I'm live. Yeah, the type of effect that it has overall. Because deep down, you really want your subscribers to be part of the journey more than anything, because if you can create content that is, relevant to them, then chances are you're going to boost your channel and, create a network of people out there that are more than happy to engage in the video overall. So, yeah, it is a very interesting kind of concept when you think about it. But yeah, I'm still enjoying the journey, I must admit, with regards to doing content overall, and it'll be very good to know. Yeah, it'd be good to get more people on board. Obviously, I think I've actually expressed, in some ways, what my main goal is overall. Make $1 million like everybody else. But no, I think it'd be good to be able to, if in a pipe dream, if there was 15, 20 years down the track, I had the ability to monetize this channel, I think a lot of the funding would go towards those that actually need it, with regards to proper housing for a start and get themselves established. Because I'm still at that infancy with regards to doing support work, but you can kind of have I've already got a pretty good idea of how, in some ways, the world or society kind of treats those that are, suffering from misfortune across the board, homelessness, just not being able to find work. There's, especially when they're in the prison system and they come out, their support whilst it's there, it's very, I don't know if saying lackluster is an appropriate word, because essentially it does come down to the individual that comes out, out of the system, otherwise, and back into society. So it's a very complex kind of topic and situation overall, because you're going to offend someone. But I sit down in team meetings, or you look at the email chains that are taking care of one person, and there may be 10 people there that are getting funding, government funding, whilst this individual is more hell-bent on getting drugs from, some Joe Blow they knew 5 years ago prior to going into prison. And it's so unfortunate that that money could actually be used for somebody else that really needs it. So that's probably a topic for another day more than anything. But yeah, and I am working on some videos with regards to my experience working in the mental health field as a support worker. So yeah, the first topic I'm going to be covering is schizophrenia. So I'm just really I'm working on the scripting phase of it first and foremost, which is really good. So I'm really wanting to make sure that, just making sure that I cross my I's and cross your I's and dot your T's. It's another saying that some people have in this world, and I'm just going to continue posting. So just seeing how it all goes overall, and just sharing my live status with all or majority of my socials. So how obnoxious, but that's okay. We're all good. I think we're all capable of enjoying. So I create another post. I'm quite surprised with Reddit. I'm quite surprised at how popular it really is. Because there's quite a lot of people that look at my content through Reddit to get onto YouTube. So if you're new at putting content out there, if you're sorry, so confused. Professional, this is a lot of fun at the moment, isn't it? That's great. So if you're out there and you're new to putting up content, then make sure you add Reddit to your list. So everyone's doing, you put stuff on YouTube, then you put it on Facebook, and then you'll go to Instagram, and then you go to Twitter, and then you go to Instagram, their Instagram feed, whatever it is, the new thing that they have. So all those little things are that is interesting. But Reddit is good. TikTok, don't forget TikTok as well. But you'll also find that there's the different demographic, the demographic of people that actually use those sites overall is vastly different also, which is quite cool. But it is good. It is good to see what's out there and and how you can utilize it to the best of your ability overall. So keep it in mind. But as for the week, it's been a very good week overall. I've actually I was invited by my sister to do it's called sound therapy, or sound healing, sorry. So I actually done that with my partner and her sister, and my sister and her daughter. And I was the only male in the group, but there was other females as well. But it was fantastic. I was actually quite interested, only because I've going through a process of working out if I've got ADHD and going to be diagnosed. I'm going through the diagnosis process by hopefully the end of this month when I have a proper assessment. But what had basically happened is what I tend to do is, like, when I'm studying or trying to focus online, reading information on on course material overall, I find it extremely difficult to focus, and it's one thing that has plagued me ever since I was younger. So you look at school reports, and there's an emphasis on me being capable of doing work, but just being distracted overall. Like, I was always a class clown. I was always getting in trouble. I was always disrupting other students just because I was doing something silly, and it was quite stupid of me to be doing that. So probably compromised a lot of people's education, and I do apologise for that. But I think a lot of people that I went to high school with, they've done quite well. So they are all right. But so back to the concentration element of being on a computer and trying to study. I come across, being on Spotify and listening to binaural beats. So basically, they're just like, it's almost like chill out music that plays no vocals, no type of meditative synaptic suggestion with, you know, you're walking into a room, there's a fireplace and so on and so forth. Nothing like that at all. It's just purely sounds, vibrations, like lower end bass noise and you know, wavy noises overall. Just stuff that really happens at different frequencies to the point of it creates a sense of focus overall. So I found it quite interesting to be doing that, because it does enhance your focus overall with a lot of things. But I'm the type of person as well that if I'm in a study mode, it's almost as though everyone has to disappear out of the house. Or I need to be in maybe a padded cell where I hear absolutely no noise whatsoever, because if I do hear any noise, then chances are I'm going to be like, oh, squirrel, you know, or just, you know, just feeling the presence of someone in the area is enough to irk me in a way that I get frustrated. And it's not fair. It's not fair, because, yeah, everyone else has things to do in the house and the world continues to spin. Like even now I'm talking to you, I can hear birds chirping outside, and now I can hear a plane that's about to fly over, because it's just that time of the day. And it's frustrating, because it frustrates me just trying to focus overall with what I'm trying to say. But anyway, the sound healing. So we essentially, the whole idea was, we're basically, you know, you come into a room and you have the option to bring a towel, bring your pillow and a blanket, yoga mat. Just got to make yourself as comfortable as possible. Some people were doing it just in a seated environment because it was space limited. Others were lying down on the ground on yoga mats and getting as comfortable as possible. And then they were presented with the therapist. She talked us through what was going to happen, and then basically we started with the process overall. So, and there were basically, you go into a bit of a meditative state, and she put you into an environment where you a bit of visualization. So you are in a room that is late in the afternoon. The warmth of the sun's penetrating the window. You're in a yellow blanket on a yellow chair with a yellow footstool. The ambient glow of the fire in the distance. You feel the warmth of the sun just embracing you, and it puts you in as much of a state as possible to then be presented with different instruments that are physically in the room that the therapist use, such as sounding bowls, and that will probably and other instruments as well, to have different sounds throughout the space. And it was extremely unique, because if you're very open to that type of stuff, what you find is that the way the frequencies affect you, they create a resonance, you know, basically a sound resonance. Yeah, so it creates a. What have we got? So I've got the image here. So I'll bring it up on screen. It's almost so. The whole idea is to, create like an electromagnetic field. Like that's an idea of the sound, how it kind of resonates with regards to with this process. And I can say that the person was sitting at the base of it, you know, at the front of the room, and we were all lying down. So, and these bowls were sitting in front of her, and she was making the vibrations on the bowl. They were actually swirling. You know, you're lying down, but they're actually swirling around you. Like you physically hear the vibration in your right ear, then your left ear, then your right ear, then your left ear, and it was bizarre. It literally put you in such a trance that the vibrations can either be discomforting for some people or a complete relaxation for another. And because it runs at a different frequency, it also affects different areas of the body as well. So the focus on this was our solar plexus chakra. So your solar plexus are the lower floating ribs in your rib cage, and the chakra element was just this whole area of your intestines. So the focus of the class last night was that of improving like digestive health and well-being, and general relaxation overall. But absolutely, thoroughly, I was mesmerised by the process, I must admit. I was quite surprised to the point where I basically, we came home, relaxed, had something to eat, and went to bed. And I went to bed at about 1 a.m., but I actually woke at 7 a.m. So that was kind of a first for a very long time for me, because I'm a poor sleeper. I even have prescribed melatonin, because stuff over the counter is short, quick release, whereas medicated stuff is actually, medicated stuff is slow release, and that was quite effective, because during most evenings I would wake up 3 or 4 hours after going to bed anyway, and feel the need to go to the toilet. But this is a slightly extended a few hours, and the thing is, I woke up early enough today to be as productive as possible, because it's the weekend here in Australia, and I'll pretty much wake up at 11:30, 12 o'clock, like halfway through the day. A quarter of my weekend's already gone. But I was up at 9 o'clock this morning, having a shower, getting ready, and making breakfast, and just having a better outlook on a lot of things. And it's interesting in saying that, like, it may be just the day, tomorrow might be completely different. But my sister, she had done the course or a session previously, and she had stated how it kind of it had the same effect on her as well. She had much improved sleep, better outlook, just general well-being was improved in such a way that it resonated, no pun intended, throughout the week prior to us doing this session here. So yeah, there's so many things that are happening in this world and in this galaxy, I think, that we will never truly understand. But to think that our body is an energy source in some ways that we're always tapping into, and there's ancient ideologies and therapies out there that modern society now are taking advantage of, is a really good thing. And I think it's important that we kind of find some way to ground ourselves, to feel connected in some way, whether it be through other people or the things that you do, or with the earth. And just, if you've got the hustle and bustle of working day in and day out in the city, make sure you escape to the country to become grounded with the smell of fresh air, trees, dirt. Take your shoes off, go for a walk on soft grass, things like that. And it's really important. So, because I think a lot of people just tend to deny themselves that. I don't mind trying these things now and then. I could see myself doing it probably in another month's time. It's not something that I would want to do every week, personally, but it more comes down to, I guess, how much money you have to be able to engage in all these different types of therapies. But I saw it as being a good way to ground yourself. So if you've had a very stressful week, then doing something like this at the end of the week just kind of recharges you for the weekend, to enjoy that time before you get back to the rat race. So keep it in mind, have a go. So I'll bring up that location again. So they were, this is in Australia, by the way, in Melbourne. That is a Instagram link. So sensory_yoga. So give it a crack. If you have a location in your area, I highly recommend it. So don't be afraid to try new things. Give it a go. The probably only small gripe that I had was that street in particular, 107 Gaffney Street in Coburg, is actually quite a busy street. So it was 5 p.m. at about, what's that, 7 o'clock at night. So it was at the tail end, I guess, of a lot of people coming home from work, but you had a large volume of traffic that you could just still hear. So when the sounding bowls and all that were happening, the vibrations were so strong that it actually just muted everything around you. But then when there were other instruments being used to kind of like simulate flowing water that was, flowing through the room, you had ambient noise from vehicles, and at one point there was a friggin' Harley Davidson that went past, and it just takes you out of that experience. But yeah, if my sister has said that there was another location there somewhere in Gisborne, Melbourne, Gisborne, Victoria, that does it, and Gisborne is more country, outskirts, rural kind of area, and I can see how that experience, being able to do it in that kind of area, would lend itself to a more successful session overall. So yeah, keep that in mind as well. Like there's some things that would just be completely out of control for those that are doing the class, but in time, if they establish themselves quite well, then it'll be quite interesting. So, but otherwise, I highly recommend it. So just to with regards to all that sounding, it's like Google terms have it as stating, in sound healing, resonance principles are engaged to reharmonize cells that have been imprinted with disruptive frequencies. So such troublesome imprints may have been a result of toxic substances, emotional traumas, pathogens, or long-term exposure in noise pollution. So that pretty much sums that up. Like, it creates a vibration that may even just get like the plaque off your teeth in some ways. It sounds ridiculous, but that's probably what's happening internally. Our bodies are so damaged from our lifestyle choices, which is really unfortunate. So there we go. Another thing as well. The idea of traditional sound therapy is that weak or unhealthy vibration can be modified through resonance to be more intense and harmonious. In a sound meditation or sound bath, the body is exposed to a wide range of frequencies produced by gongs, chimes, and singing bowls. So, yeah, it's very out there compared to most modern clinical-based medicine, and I think those systems of health and well-being and therapy overall have probably only been around effectively for the past 150 years, whilst things like these have been around for thousands. So what are we doing? What's going on? So yeah, highly recommended in exploring that overall. It makes me even think about massage guns as well. So if you're fortunate enough to have a massage gun, then that's great. But here's an example of a top-end massage gun that is designed to utilize the frequency of the body. So it utilizes... Here's what the TheraGuns do. So each TheraGun percussive massage gun device delivers a significantly calibrated combination of 16 millimeter amplitude at a frequency of 40 percussions per minute. So the essential pairing is required to relieve pain, enhance performance, improve range of motion, and accelerate recovery. Now, I've got a massage gun. I've got one of these, and I had one of the cheaper ones that you just buy, like a generic brand that essentially you buy from everywhere as well. And sorry, but the TheraGun's the best. I'm going to be biased. I used to work in a fitness retailer where basically we sold these, and we had the rep come around and give us the spiel on it and the science behind it, and fuck it, the science is sound with regards to the effectiveness of the product. And you feel a massive difference when you've got a generic brand product to something that's actually been well thought out. So, and it kind of lends itself to the way the sound therapy was, in that the frequency that it actually it's basically at 16 millimeter amplitude, happening at 40 40 hits a second is enough to create a wave, energy wave in your body that helps with massaging overall. So, and it can be achieved within 2 to 3 minutes compared to a conventional 15-minute massage. So if you really want a massage gun, go out and get there. So there we go. Amplitude is the maximum displacement of points in a wave, which you can think of as a degree of intensity of change. So there we go. So the maximum displacement is measured from the equilibrium position. So yeah, from the center point, from the center point of that wave, which will be basically no vibration at all from the gun, the percussion element hits you at a high point right here, which that'll be like your 16 millimeter amplitude, like the depth of penetration on the muscle fibers overall. And the frequency of that will be essentially where your 40, what was it, 40 percussions, would be between that. So if we close that wave, then that's the frequency and the intensity in which it actually hits the body. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing your TheraGun, with a starting price of about $550 Australian for the Elite model, which is TheraGun Elite. Oh, that's $649. Well, that's just Australian. You can get them. Shop around, see how you go. But there's a lot in the range. Fucking phenomenal product, seriously. But it just absolutely smashes the muscle. So 5 different levels of speed and intensity overall, and you can actually push it into your muscle to get that. So there you go. There's a graphical representation just on the top right of the screen there, as you can see. So 16 millimeter depth. Some of them only do 11 or 12. Or most of them on the market. Different heads are available, so for different points of the body. So thumbs, there you go. Thumb speaks for itself. Standard ball, which is more of a standard massage. Wedge is actually quite thin. It's a bit of a scraper in some ways. There you go, scraping and flushing. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. There's also an app. The app is quite effective as well. You'll find that when you've installed the app onto your device, it will connect when you've installed the app on your phone and then you connect it to a device, one of your TheraGuns, it will essentially give you the ability to choose the type of exercise that you're engaging in, and then it will give you a workout for that body part as well. So when you open up, you're basically opening up the app. Yeah, you open up the app and you say you're going to be training legs in the gym. So it will then give you a graphical representation of your quadricep, like the front of your thighs, and then the motion in which you go up and down the thigh, inner and outer thigh, and then the device will turn on automatically and engage, and then prompt you to pretty much massage for 30 seconds on any given part. So 30 seconds is enough to get enough of a warm up to do the movement overall. So as you can see, and it's designed as well, so it's got a triangle grip. It lends itself to being held in different areas. I'll just bring that up again. So you'll see the different grips. He's holding it, on the rear grip, which allows for direct massaging, in easy to reach areas. Then on those that are kind of like underneath the leg, he's got on his hand on the lower grip. And for the posterior chain, like at the back of the body, he's on the front of the grip as well. So that is what makes this product absolutely phenomenal and just completely dominates the market. And there are a lot of high-end professional athletes that do use this product as well, from AFL to NFL, tennis players. I think it was Ricardo, or one of the Formula One races. He uses the product too. So, but either way, yeah, good stuff. Highly recommend it. So, quite good. Let me just close some windows. It's been pretty cool, actually. So there's your scientists behind the product. Scientist. They're the ones who go, hey, how'd you feel? Was it good? Oh, yeah, not bad. Felt fantastic, mate. That was good. I was really enjoying that. And you're like, yeah, good on you, man. No worries. Ooh, it's my back end. You can't see my back end. That's not good. So, what else have we got? So, yeah. Alright. So, yeah, there's a new, you got Alien Romulus coming out in August in the cinemas. I can't wait. It's pretty good. They got a featurette that's just been released, which is it's actually looking very promising.
The Alien franchise holds such a
really,
iconic space.
I've got a lot of promise for
cinematic
this.
history.
Like, I'm hoping that it's going to turn out quite well. And even though it's a short 1.5 minute featurette, it goes into depth with regards to how, some of the practical, it's more practical effects than it has been for, since most modern movies now are relying on CGI in such a way that it's just detracting from our ability to even enjoy a lot of content out there. It's almost though, it's as though that modern age just needs some kind of distraction to keep them interested, and it just goes to show with regards to how TikTok and Instagram and 20-second clips are the attention span of most people before this stuff becomes obsolete, and I think it's so sad, to be honest. Another case in point as well, like the latest Beverly Hills Cop movie was released on Netflix, and it's getting above average reviews, which is good, and it's having the usual trope from reviewers saying, oh, it's a great nostalgia trip and all the nostalgic cues are there. And I'm like, well, they're there because they work and they're good and they're fun. And Eddie Murphy, I don't know what his secret is, but it doesn't look like he's aged in 20, 30 years. If anything, people want Delirious. So Eddie Murphy, if you're watching this, hurry up and release another Delirious film, because we're hanging for it. We're absolutely just waiting for you to get on board and give us give us a goddamn video. So give us another stand up and take charge, mate. What are you doing? So what else have we got? What else has Brett been looking at on YouTube today? I saw this clip. There's a woman in America. She's talking about the video's titled "When you the moment you realise you're being replaced in your own land." So I don't know if it's a white privilege kind of video, but But she goes on to goes for 2 minutes and 51 seconds. But she talks.
Okay,
she
so
pretty much
I'm
talks
not
about.
to notice these things or ask these questions, but it needs to be noticed and the questions need to be asked. So I've lived in a nice suburb of Columbus for about 5 years now in the same apartment complex. And since moving in,
she talks about
slowly but surely all of my
living
neighbors
must be in like an
have
apartment
become
complex.
foreigners. I am one of the only Americans that live in my complex
in which
now.
she
if I go to take a walk
is surrounded
around the neighborhood
by
with my son, almost nobody
different ethnicities that are somewhat
English.
that they're not American.
All of
So
them
she's
look
obviously
at
got
me
immigrants
like
that
I'm
have kind of
odd man
moved
out.
into
Like,
the
what's this
area,
white girl doing
and none of
here
them speak
in
English, and there's
our
no way of her and her
neighborhood?
daughter
If
being
I go
able
to
to
the
connect.
pool,
So
it's almost all Spanish speaking or Middle
I don't know what it
Eastern
is. If it's
speaking
like, she needs
like,
to get out more often, or she needs
Americans in my complex,
to essentially
that doesn't seem right
engage
to me.
in the
How is
community
this okay?
overall,
That
get to know these people. I'll put a comment on there basically saying that, for me personally, my closest and best
Is
friends
anybody
are
else upset
of
with
all
this? Is
races.
anybody else
I've got a
noticing
German
this?
mate, a couple of
That
Aussies,
we're now made
best
to
friends
feel
are
out of
Filipino,
place. And I'm not even talking about race. I'm
Fijian
not
in the
talking about
mix.
race.
Went to
If
school with
they're-
Greek and Italians
when I see
amongst
a fellow
all those
black
different
person,
races
I'm like,
as
yes,
well.
you're an American.
And in
like,
some ways
thank
it's still
you for
kind of
being here with me, side
common
by
even in
side.
this day and age that there are public
it has
school
nothing to do
systems
with
that
race.
have a
I'm
lot of
speaking about
integrated
fellow Americans being pushed out of their homes and
what do they call it?
being
Nationalities
conquered by
that
people who
that still
aren't
exist.
from
So,
here. People
but
don't
there's one
speak
thing
our
I
language.
can
It just
understand and relate
it
to what
feels
she
wrong.
says. I'll put the
I don't
links
see
in
how
the
this is
description.
okay.
Yeah,
And
but one
this
thing I
doesn't
do
seem-
understand is
This
the
doesn't
fact
seem like
that
a strength for
there's
us. This
20, 30 years
diversity
ago, we were
thing
more
doesn't seem
out
like
on the streets
it's
playing as
going
kids
good.
and enjoying our time.
Yeah,
Spent with
what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
with,
Am I being
friends and
irrational?
family
Am I being
overall.
irrational? That
Whereas
I
now
feel uncomfortable in the fact
most
that I'm like the only
kids are
one
getting
of my,
entertainment from social
neighbors
media,
that speaks English
their devices,
and actually
gaming
has
systems,
an ancestry
not feeling a need to
here
really go
in
outside and do
America
anything
that
due
can,
to
like,
safety.
Go to a cemetery and see
I guess a
my,
lack of resources
my grandma
in
and
public
grandpa who were
that
buried
keep
here. Am I
kids interested.
wrong for feeling like
But
that shouldn't be the
it doesn't
case?
mean that you can't
I
really
don't
get
think I
out
am.
there
I think
and
that this is perfectly natural
integrate
to be
yourself and
upset
meet and greet your
that
neighbours and know
my
who they are, and
home is
because
being
there are a lot of
conquered by
commonalities out
foreigners.
there, isn't it? Like we all,
Where are my
you know,
fellow Americans?
most of us work.
And
We
why
all
are
need to
letting
make a
this
living.
happen?
And just across the board,
You look like if I was
it's
your
more
dad, I'd leave
about
you
just
too.
making sure we all
You look like your
know,
OnlyFans is
make
free.
the right decisions with one another. And if in a time of crisis, you might be in a situation where your neighbour is in distress, and if they can trust, if they can trust in society enough to be able to come to you, then you need to kind of be able to feel comfortable enough overall, to be able to ask for help. So, yeah, that was one thing I saw just prior to actually starting the video. So I thought it was interesting. Another interesting thing I came across as well is that probably a few months ago, as you're aware, I was I'd posted a video on hang on a minute. That's all right. Sorry for the pause, guys. Sorry about that. It seems to be working all right. I'm just still very much getting into how to do a proper video overall, which is it's quite interesting. This whole experiment, and still loving it. Cool. So on my page, on my actual YouTube page, what was it? Probably 2.5, 3 months ago, I actually posted that I'm on Ozempic. So that's the medication for diabetes that's being used that's been around for 20 years for people that have diabetes, and over the past 7 or 8 years, it's been utilised for people for weight loss. So I was diagnosed with diabetes last year in May, and I was prescribed through my doctor Ozempic. So on top of that, I was given a referral to go see an endocrinologist. So the endocrinologist looks at my internals through different tests, predominantly a blood test, and we have a consultation every 3 to 6 months. So with things going as well as they have been, and like I saw her about a month ago, and she goes, I don't need to see you for 6 months because everything's going well. But what I'll do anyway is I'll still increase your cholesterol medication because it's still, oh God, excuse me, I'm going to have a heart attack now. Hope not. With that in mind, fucking loser. You dickhead, don't say that type of stuff. People are going to see that. you have a heart attack and you'll suddenly be famous on law and you just don't know what people are going to be seeing. But anyway, yeah, so things are going well. But the supply chain is still a massive issue. So what had happened is that I haven't had Ozempic for about a month now. Oh, no, I'm lying now. Not telling the truth. About 2.5, 3 weeks. So what's happening is that, the dreaded rebound of weight starting to come back, isn't it? So, and I'm making stupid decisions because purely based on the fact that I'm not getting constipated or anything like that because of the appetite suppression that you feel, that you get, which is quite annoying. And it is quite uncomfortable when you do have that. So, yeah, very, very frustrating. And I do want to go back on it, and I don't want to go back on it because I'm trying to reinforce positive behaviours. So the funny thing is, even with doing that sound therapy last night, I'd woken up today much more optimistic. Like I've woken up 3 hours earlier than usual and had a fantastic breakfast and haven't had actually anything to eat since, which is great. And by doing something like this podcast today, it's the whole idea of creating distractions in your mind and keeping yourself busy enough that you're not near the kitchen or thinking of food. So I'm thinking of food now, and I'm fucking hungry. But anyway, it's going to be a good meal because it's 4:15. But the point is that I'll bring it up on screen now, and it is, I was listening to a podcast. So you may have come across Stephen Bartlett's podcast, Diary of a CEO. That we can see it on the screen there. You don't need me to read it out for you. Diary of a CEO, and he has Dr. Tyna Moore, which is based in the US, and states down here she is a certified neuropathic and chiropractic physician and an expert in holistic regenerative medicine. So I've only gone halfway through this podcast, but she's kind of convinced me to that Ozempic is actually good, because I've really had no major issues other than the constipated element and the slow metabolism. But she swears by using Ozempic but microdosing with it. So when she says microdosing, she believes that the people that are being prescribed it now, like using it for weight loss, which is fine, but the dose amounts that people are being prescribed as per the pen, because it comes in the pen form, she believes that it is in fact too much for some people to be able to cope. And we would be able to mitigate those by microdosing with it. So instead of having, your 0.25 milligram dose, which is your starting dose, where people start to get some nauseous side effects that do subside, you can in fact do, say, like a 10 or a 15, 0.10 or 0.15 dose and mitigate the appetite suppressant element, but still have the benefits of the semaglutide working in conjunction with the semaglutide that's produced in your body to still, to be able to divide what the body uses effectively as energy, and then gets rid of everything else as well. So whatever your body's going to utilize. So, and I'm listening to it, and I've got enough, I have enough knowledge myself about the human body, just from my history of weight training and, engaging in different type of, I call them therapies or different type of eating habits over the years, where what she's saying is just theoretically sound. Because there's another element where people are freaking out with the Ozempic, and that they're more concerned. They're actually quite concerned about the muscle wastage or muscle loss, and a common term in weight training, for example, is called sarcopenia. So what that is basically the brain muscle connection, the neurological connection, all the nerves that get to the muscle as you get older, that begins to break down. So those neurological pathways just begin to break down because of age. So hence the reason why most people in their 60s and 70s have osteoarthritis, and we all get thinner, and we've got no muscle left in our bodies, or not as much. The musculoskeletal element of our existence, it just decreases in such a way that it leads to a lot of problems that it really should. So what she has been saying is that yes, medication, it will cause those elements with regards to muscle wastage, because when you're on a calorie deficit diet anyway, what happens is you're without fail with any given dieting or overall, is you're going to lose between 20 and 35% of lean muscle mass, because you're not able to feed your muscles as effectively as you used to. So if you're on a calorie deficit, then you'll lose that body composition overall. And the reason why this is theoretically sound as well, if you think of people that are in competition with bodybuilding or any fitness competitor out there, there's a 4 to 6 week window, or maybe probably much longer than that. I've never competed in my life to really be 100% sure of what it is. But there's the 4, 6, 8 week window where there's a cutting phase, but I want to get down to the lowest percentage of body fat to bring out the striations in the muscle and the definition. So when they're on stage with all bronzed up, you can see all those the symmetry and the actual the body composition overall, and see the balance of all the different body parts, muscles. So, but if you do that incorrectly and you deprive your body of the nutrients needed to actually maintain the volume of the muscle, then you will lose a lot of that size. So hence the reason why some people, it's a very delicate balance for those people that are obsessed with their body composition to want to even stand on stage in their jocks. Anyway, or bikini, for that matter. So, so what Dr. Moore is basically saying is that by microdosing Ozempic, you're in fact creating a better homeostasis for the body, because you're able to eat about a good balanced diet. Your digestive system works effectively to be able to pass through what it doesn't need. The semaglutide that is produced in the body can still effectively break down all the carbohydrates to be used as energy and discard whatever's not needed, in conjunction with the Ozempic. But the semaglutide as well helps with systemic inflammation throughout the body as well. So Dr. Moore has done this herself on her mother and her daughter, because they have Crohn's disease that runs in the family. Her mother's mother had Crohn's disease and passed away from cancer, from bowel cancer overall. And with her own mother, she was able to then, because she does, I think it's like compounding medications overall, she was able to make a concoction which was integrated the Ozempic to create a good balance, so to mitigate a lot of the inflammation as well. And the doctor also, she gets a lot of chronic arthritis as well, so bedridden for days, to the point where basically she would have her dose and she would be able to mitigate a lot of those issues for almost a month at a time. So look, as I said, I'm literally halfway through the podcast, but I was able to ascertain all that information for, the podcast that goes for 2 hours. So I'll just bring that up on screen again. But oh my God, I highly recommend it. I haven't actually started the Ozempic again. I do have some in the fridge. I haven't used it because of the fact that it's running, because it, you go to the chemist, it's ran out. So I'm kind of stockpiling at least 2-3 months ahead just to make sure that there's actually something there. You're probably thinking, oh my god, he's fucking predominantly using it for weight loss, and I'm like, yeah, I am, but I am diabetic, and I had been testing my blood over the past week as well, and I've noticed that whilst the levels aren't ridiculously high like some people that just do not look after themselves, they're a little bit higher than normal, and I've just, because I'm a type 2 diabetic, I don't have to have insulin or anything like that. I was actually quite surprised when I chose to sit down and just go, well, I might test my blood, because I haven't been told to even test my blood as well, which is very interesting. But yeah, it's honestly something that, it's a very touch and go. But I think a lot of people are just abusing the privilege. A lot of people might be just trying to have their opinion about the medication as well. Maybe there's a lot of there's probably just a lot of misinformation with regards to how it's being utilized for weight loss, because Dr. Moore has even said, how is it that this medication has been on the market for 20 years with little to no issues, but now we're suddenly having problems and contraindications associated with people using it for weight loss, like with some deaths and digestive issues and stuff like that. Like, why is that? So yeah, watch this space. Well, don't watch this space, because this space isn't medically certified to be giving out medical advice, but that's my disclaimer. So I am a generalized user just like most people out there. So, but I think it is quite an interesting. I think it's an interesting product, and I see the benefits in a way that's phenomenal. And I remember there was one of my clients that they were seeing towards the start of the year, but wasn't seeing anymore. He was on Ozempic himself, and quite an obese man, but he was having Ozempic and just leading a shit lifestyle. But, he had a lot of things going against him, but at the same time, his dietary intake was absolutely poor. He liked to drink, he liked to smoke, and he liked junk food. And he was about 170, 180 kilos, and he passed away from other issues, but had nothing to do with the medication. But it just goes to show that there's a lot of factors that people don't take into consideration when they're on medication. That it's not there's going to be no pill that will fix or mitigate a lot of the issues that people have, but it's we just need to kind of be a bit more realistic with our expectations overall, and what the key role that medications or any holistic therapies have on our existence, because we still have the ability to have control overall, which is quite interesting. But check that out. I'm going to bring it up on the screen one more time, because so there we go. Take a screenshot. I shall put that in the description also. But get onto it. Quite good. What else has been going on, Mr. Brett? I don't know. That's my dashboard. I'm going to show you. Give you an idea. Like, there's a lot of commentators on YouTube that will actually, talk about how to get users and stuff like that, but I don't think they really go through to actually give you an idea of what to expect with certain things. And if you're looking to, I'm going to pick a video. I'll do a YouTube short, for example. Now, I've got some stuff scheduled there, as you can see, but I'm going to put my most recent post up on the screen. So this is with Jimmy Carr. All right, we'll bring up some info. Just trying to look in the screen to see exactly, making sure I don't show shit. Well, I don't think there's nothing personal anyway, really, other than just the information that to give you an idea of what to expect when you're setting stuff up. So I'm going to move my head away. So, bye. This is my latest video. So as you can see, you upload, create a title, and then you create your description and a couple of tags in there as well. So popular tags associated with people that are on YouTube, so Jimmy Carr, Joe Rogan, and then you create your own links. So, and then you create some hashtags. So these hashtags are kind of what people can search online overall and go through and look. Then the recommendations overall are kind of like when you create a video, put it into a playlist. So this is in my Harpers shorts. And what happens is that when this person's finished watching this video, the chances are they may actually be directed to another one of my videos, provided I actually put it in a list. So you can choose what video you want to add, because you want to create somewhat a story of events when they click on another one of your videos. So it's actually really important to keep that in mind. What else is Harper Shorts? So then you can get to put down if it's actually made for kids, so yes or no. If you put in yes, then there's other issues, but I'm not making child content for pedophiles, because you don't need any more kids online, I think. And then if you want to do it as a if it's a paid promotion, so if your page is monetized, you can essentially, it'll probably affect your revenue that you would get through YouTube. My page isn't monetized because I don't have that much of a following yet. Sucks balls, because it's quite a process actually. Any altered content with AI? So it's always no, because more stuff's legitimately with my automated content. A lot of YouTube commentators are stating that all this stuff here is just absolutely redundant. So I've never seen how it effectively works on the video, because of probably the type of content that I choose to put online, which is fine. There's not much I can do about it, but that's kind of the way it is. So once you've done all that, then you put in some tag words. So it states here that tags can be useful if people aren't, but they're not. They're useful, but they're not useful at the same time. That's what that really says. But what you'll find is that the words you put here are what most people will put into a search when they come onto YouTube. So if I was to put in, say I've got all this here. If I was to type in, Jimmy Carr podcast, what will happen is that the chances of somebody typing Jimmy Carr podcast because they like Jimmy Carr, they may be redirected in a search listing which will include this video. So that's how that section pretty much works. So video language pretty much states states the point that it is, and continue to scroll down as well. Recording date. Now, it's not really important to put a date in apparently, because when you if you look at online or what it actually does, all its main purpose is for cataloging your content for when you do monetize something, and if there is a promotion that you've got a business on board with, then you can actually trace it back to that video. Then it helps to catalog your content. Allow embedding. So having this box ticked, actually, I believe it's a good thing, and it's highly recommended, because your content, you want to be able to kind of let other people share it and maybe pick on you or learn, through your content, and like sharing and caring overall. This one here, publish to subscription feed and notify subscribers. This is one that I find interesting. Depending, if you're doing too many shorts, you don't want to be bombarding your subscribers every second day that you just posted another 30-second short. Unless there would be a demographic of people that sit there and just want that So if you kind of think of this as like spam email in a way, because the reality is when you're posting a video, I remember reading a small snippet of advice through LinkedIn. So it's like an employment website where you're putting all your particulars up. And this person had actually says you want to untick this box because if you want to improve the algorithm with YouTube overall, the algorithm is to bring new people to your page. So YouTube would have automatically or already, hopefully, seen that your content is getting enough views, and then it expands that range of people that are interested in your content even further to new people. So those new people are in fact your non-subscribers. So I've had that off, and it's proven to be successful, I must admit. So whilst my views aren't out of control, I have found that there has been a higher user base on content posting than back in, than I've noticed over the past, or ever since starting this in January. So experiment with that. Personally, I think it's worth experimenting with. You may have different results overall, but really depends on what type of stuff you're posting. So category, I hate this section because in some ways it works with regards to being relevant to the type of content that you post, but when it comes to the analytics of your page, if there's one day you want to share something that's entertaining, you click entertaining and it changes the actual demographic of people that are actually going to look at that video. And it is unfortunate, but that's the way we are. It's kind of like we have a favorite TV show, we have a favorite movie, we have a favorite restaurant, we have a favorite model of car, we have a favorite brand of clothing. So people aren't going to suddenly look at an entertaining video if they like people on blogs, which is predominantly what mine is, because it is about people. It is about vlogging and blogging overall. So that is why that comes into play. And whilst I hate it, I'm beginning to better understand it. In fact, I probably just better understood it by explaining it the way that I did to you. So, yeah, that is another important thing as well. So comments are on, and it's been recommended as well to reply to comments. Also, create that community. So the more you create that community, the better with regards to getting your content out there. And that's what I've been doing. So some of the comments that I've been getting are kind of like a bit snarky in some ways, but be as civil as possible. The last thing I want to be doing is getting negative thumbs down on my content, along with maybe getting a strike against my name because a group of people want to actually take advantage of the situation. Hope you don't mind. I've just put this on because it is actually cold here in Melbourne, Victoria. It's currently 11 degrees, which is it's probably like 25 degrees Fahrenheit in America. So it's our winter at the moment. So we're in summer. Put that on. Oh, that's so much better. I'm going to fall asleep now. So quite good. Yeah, so that is all that. So that's that whole page. So when you're posting a video, if you take all of that into consideration, then you basically click save and away you go. And this is then once it's posted, you give it a few days and you can look at your analytics. So this is where it gets really interesting overall. So I posted this video, I don't know, yesterday, day before. So as you can see, it's only had 5.2 thousand people watching, but it's quite interesting because of the topic, and it could be because of the tags that I've tagged Joe Rogan in it. I've tagged Jimmy Carr. Some of the other Jimmy Carr stuff's been very popular as well because he is quite a likable person, and he's one of those comedians that can be crass, but he's extremely educated. So yeah, this has just done nothing but go up and up and up. And I haven't put any money on this, haven't promoted the video in any way, but I'm very happy with those. Like those numbers, they're quite, they're all right. I'm no Mr. Beast, but I'm a beast in many areas of my life. And then you can see the breakdown there. Like, I'll just move my head out of the way again. So yeah, you can see another breakdown over here. Luckily got 4 subscribers. So yeah, 4 people have gone, yeah, I like this content, and perhaps they've looked at some other stuff as well. And thank you if you have. And if you're watching this, you are an absolute gem. You're an amazing person. Don't let anybody tell you different. If you're new to the channel, you're existing and you're watching this, this is fantastic to have you on board. And thank you. Even if there is no people in the chat, I have no idea who's been watching. And that's okay, because it's all about me anyway. So, yeah. So you have all of that. Down here, it continues to get more interesting as well. So the video itself goes for 51 seconds. And on average, people have been watching just over 30 seconds of this video. So they get to this point. As you can see, the percentage is 135% of people have been watching it. Don't know you can get above 100, but anyway, I'll take it. I'll take it. And we go down. So down to that point, and is like 50% of people are still watching that video, which is really good. And it's quite conducive to a lot of the planet's attention span these days. So I'll take it, and it's good. So you can click on see more, and it basically brings up a more of a graphical representation of it. Excuse me. And you can choose to compare it with another video that's out there, and it will show that the average is actually more higher than usual. And that's actually quite good. If you can get those type of averages to improve your reach, improve the retention of people watching your video, then that is even better again. So speaking of reach, so it has had a reach of just over 7,500 people. So 7,500 people that have been browsing their YouTube have seen this pop up on probably their main screen. And 69% of viewers have chosen to view it. 31% have chosen to swipe away. So those 31%, I don't know how you wake up in the morning, but anyway, just kidding. So yeah, 5.2 thousand of those people of the 7.5, I guess, have chosen to view. So thank you. Unique views. So 2.8 is, I think it's more associated with those that are possibly not on the site, or I don't know. I don't know what unique views. Estimate the number of people that watch your content within the selected date range. Yeah, it doesn't mean shit really. So yeah, so why are they unique though? Are they actually human? Are they actually from planet Earth? Is this being broadcast into another part of the galaxy that has YouTube? Have they infiltrated our system? I have no idea. Back to the video. So yeah, another graphical representation of where they've actually seen this video. So 93.2% have seen it in the short feeds. So there's other YouTube features, which is probably just the main page where they've searched it, or they've actually 1% have searched maybe for Joe Rogan or Jimmy Carr, or typed in the word shorts, external. So this would be more in relation to the website, so they would have posted it on. I think I've only put this on Instagram and YouTube. But yeah, the content's only been there as long, it's been there for less than 5 days to actually see where the reach is overall. So YouTube search terms, proportion of my traffic. So I'm part of the 1%ers when people are searching for, tanks, English or Spanish memes, espresso base cuppa, and suddenly Jimmy Carr pops up. Content suggested for the video, not enough traffic. So usually you give it about 7 days and you'll see that it'll have listed maybe 3 or 5 videos here in which it will, at the end of those videos, this short will pop up. So that's how that goes. And I've put it in a playlist, so it's in my YouTube Shorts, for which you will then see how effective that is, and if people are going on a journey watching more of your content through that playlist. So you got the editor as well, so it might actually, it's not too bad actually, to be honest. And I've been using this a few times to tweak some of the videos, and it is actually more effective than I thought for doing minor editing after you've posted a video. So you have the ability to drag. You can zoom in to kind of see the finer details of the audio clip overall and where it fits in. But then you also, when it goes to trim and cut, you can trim a full section of the video overall, like have the first 15 seconds of the video posted, or if there is an area that is an issue, you can trim and cut it as well. So, but it might, the reason why I can't actually trim and cut this video is because it's actually too short. So what I can do is I will it's not gonna let me do it from here. So yeah, we'll go to the main dashboard. What I'll do is I'll just bring up a bigger video overall. So here's a longer video that I've done. Click on edit, go to the editor, and say we've got trim and cut here. So I can click on trim and cut, and if I want to do a new cut within that whole 6-minute clip, you have the ability to be able to say, I want to trim just this section here. So from the minute 25 mark to the 2-minute mark, I can cut that section out. And I don't know how long it takes. It says it's going to take, you click tick, and then it's automatically part of that cut there, as you can see on the screen. So it's as simple as that, and it's quite effective. Something to keep in mind when you've already posted a video and you want to improve how the video is performing overall, then you have the ability to cut that. So yeah, it is quite a valuable tool to keep in mind. But I'm going to delete that because I'm happy with that video. This is a video on how my car insurance or insurers overall are kind of really ripping us off unless we look into changing what they're doing to us. So keep that in mind. So we'll go back to that short, eh? So yeah, we're looking at the analytics, weren't we? Yep. So back to here. It's quite good when you get used to using these sections because it is quite addictive. Because you'll be looking at stuff to post overall, and it's quite it's just very interesting when you take the time to sit down and work it all out, and you're like, okay, what can I do better? What's going on here overall? So yeah, good stuff. Okay, so we've looked at reach, looked at views, unique views. Once that is more populated, you can see what it posts. I will bring up a more established video momentarily, but we'll just continue with this. So engagement. So there we go. So of the 5,200 people that have watched the video, yeah, it has been watched. That accumulated time, of that is essentially, almost 50 hours of viewing in less than 2 or 3, less than 5 days, which is, as I said, look, I'm happy with that. Where I'm currently at with this YouTube journey, I'm quite happy overall. So, and my channel average is around, in terms of likes and dislikes, is it's at just under 92%, It was at 92%, but somebody's probably disliked this video because they're dickheads and they just hate life. But anyway, I can get angry. And yeah, average view time of 33 minutes. So if you've got say a video that goes longer than that, you'll see more ebbs and flows that I'll show you momentarily. Audience, you won't see much information here until it's been around for a long time. But it's quite a lot. So yeah, the main demographic that I'm getting is the 25 to 34 year olds, and yeah, that's good. I'm 40. What am I? 46. So 30% of my generation are getting into Jimmy Carr. A lot of the viewers. That's interesting as well. So I found that you'll get recommendations for the time of day to actually post your videos, and if I think this is one of the videos of what I did was I chose to post it at a time zone that correlated better to people waking up in America at 8 a.m. So with us, the most popular content happens from say 9 or 10 a.m. So you would post it say 8 o'clock. So it's online for more people to see when they're having their first getting up for breakfast or their first morning tea, and they'll have a better chance of watching it. So I've done the same thing. I actually changed the time zone for the planet to correspond there, and that's pretty cool. That's the first time I actually looked at it to see that and go, okay, interesting. Unless I'm completely wrong and it's more associated with just it is more popular in the United States with Jimmy Carr, and the fact that Joe Rogan has been tagged in it as well. So it's really difficult, and it's almost vague that you get presented with this information and you almost want to know a little bit more detail as well overall. So, but yeah, you've got access to other graphs there, the geography, location of where it's been watched more. As the video's been there longer, you'll see more information. I'll go to another video now, just to give you an idea of what you're going to be looking at. But yeah, good stuff. So yeah, we'll look at a longer video. Let's find one. Let's get one that's actually had the most views. So this has had 23,000 views. Pretty happy with that. So there we go. I did promote this as well. So before I get into that, I'll go back to the main channel area, and you'll have promotions up here, and you'll see that I'll have a listing of previous and new promotions, and the amount of money that you choose to invest in, in a post will determine how much of a reach you get. So I chose to post this podcast, for $100. And it got me a reach of 375,000 people, and a promotion view of just under 7,000, and subscribers of over 1,000. So this is the thing that annoys me about YouTube, that if you're in a situation where you have endless bank supply and your equipment is absolutely stellar and amazing, you've got a studio environment, and you can then and only then devote like 24 hours to YouTube and not have a second or a third job to be able to do, then chances are you're going to be more successful in getting out there and just with finding your niche. Then finding your niche is a big thing. So that's one key. But those people as well, I would have no doubt in my mind that they would be following this system also, of choosing to promote a video once they've made one to improve its reach and to get making people aware of your page overall. So I don't have a problem with it. As you can see, the amounts that I've put on there are quite low, but they just form part of my budget. I've probably done, as you can see, I've done more with regards to promoting this video, and it's had a massive reach with a big amount of promotion viewing overall, and it's been good because it has bumped up the numbers, mate. It's bumped up the numbers. So we'll go back to this Ozempic video, looking at the analytics, because it might give a better representation of what's happening also. So, yeah, almost 24,000 views, and it still continues to go up incrementally because of, I guess, the popularity of the topic overall, which is good. And then you got the watch time of 230 hours. So the only unfortunate thing is that with all those people that have viewed it, they haven't really viewed much. So they've only looked at 4% of the video, not realizing that the content that is good actually begins, to happen around this point here. So being able to formulate your video is something that's would be a completely different clip overall. But that's basically how how many people have looked at what, and 1% of 23,000. What's that? 100 people may have looked at it. But I'm not fussed. I'm good. I'm happy with that because it's just giving me the exposure that I think is really important for your page. And then you'll also have a live listing of how many people have looked. So the reach overall, is okay, but not too bad. It was actually pretty shit with doing this video because Ozempic is a very it's a bit of a grey area with regards to the medical profession side of it, and some countries such as Australia where I'm at, they identify you can't advertise or promote Ozempic publicly, and I'm not promoting it. Well, I don't know if just talking about it is promoting it. I guess in some ways it is, but I've got no financial ties to any of pharmaceuticals or chemists in my area. I'm paying full price for Ozempic because I'm not on any healthcare. I don't get a healthcare card in Australia that gives you, considerably high discounts. So you're paying for cheap medications on the PBS, and yeah, so it was basically talking about Ozempic and medication, but it was restricted in some countries. That's the reality. So people can still watch it in Australia, but it doesn't have as much. It didn't have as much of a reach as it does in, say, America, for example, where it's perfectly fine to do it. So that kind of ticks me off a little bit, but it is what it is. Impression click-through rate. So you want to have a high click-through rate, and it's kind of good. So around the Friday, 5th of June, so I had a good, high click-through rate back at the start of June, which is cool. Down to the graphs, yeah, 98.9% of it was through YouTube advertising. So if I chose not to advertise it, that graph would actually be a little bit more evened out, because you notice that once you do promote a video, it just changes the whole reach and grab of the video overall. But here we go, external sites. So I posted it on different locations as well. So Facebook, it had a lot of redirection to YouTube, and as I was saying earlier, the content suggesting this video. So there's a listing of videos that there's YouTube videos where my thumbnail will pop up, saying Harpers Ozempic experience, for which you then click on it and have a crack. People might be interested to have a look at it and go, okay, it's quite interesting. But when you look at this, see, if YouTube's analytics are that precise, then why is my video being posted with the video that says 50 incredible moments caught on CCTV cameras? What's that got to do with Ozempic? I tried $9,000 of mineral sunscreen so you don't have to. I guess it's a health thing. This is better. How to make diabetes-friendly air-fried chicken. So that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, managing nausea. So yeah. So 3 out of 5 suggestions from YouTube is okay. There's more down there. Can't be bothered clicking on it, to be honest, because I'm not sure what to get out of it. So had that, and then Yeah, so the search terms. So when people type in the word Ozempic, my video pops up. Heartburn movie, my video pops up because I think I've got. I have those as keywords. So we're going to have a look here. So I've got some keywords: weight loss, mental health awareness, life, motivation, anxiety, get your shit together. Yep. So no, I don't have that. But yeah, people may associate Ozempic with heartburn, you'll see it. So there's some tags there. Overweight, so heartburn. No, what's good? Either way, good. So yeah, that's all. Not bad at all. So back to the analytics. Close that. That's that reach, engagement. So your watch time again, yeah, average of 34 seconds. I'd love to have more than that, but as I said to you, this is what's really ridiculous. Like the video only went for under 12 minutes, and only 34 seconds of people watched it. And I guess it's all about, if I had long blonde hair and fabulous breasts, then I'm pretty sure people will be watching it, but I don't. I'm just being an honest person that's posting content, and this is what you get. And I'm learning to post better stuff overall, stuff that's going to be actually interesting to you. But yeah, that's what it is. I'm just probably not attractive enough. I'm attractive for radio. I'm pretty gorgeous for radio, I reckon. But yeah, video-wise, yeah. But I don't know. Probably see me lose a little bit of weight, even though I haven't had Ozempic compared to other videos, and that'll be the natural evolution of it. So I'll be doing a video where it's like, see, I've actually lost weight. Here's the proof. Back to the desktop. Whoosh. So audience retention, yeah, it's pretty low. It needs to be a bit better. Better retention on shorter videos, but yeah, there's some other videos on my channel that have, the retention rate is actually improving, and that's because the quality of what I'm actually preaching is better overall as well. Audience, who we got? So returning viewers, that's actually quite not great, but it's nice. It's good to have some people that have seen the video coming back and checking it out. So new viewers overall because I promoted it, and then people were just watching through. Quite good. Keep it going. So different demographics of people. So yeah, still around the same age, but yeah, more people in there 18 to 24 that are watching it too. And India, see what I mean? Just bizarre. So where tight restrictions on Australia and Canada, I think, with regards, but less than 1% this video has been viewed or been recommended, and it absolutely pisses me off. So it's almost like I need to omit the word Ozempic in my videos, and maybe just have, here's how weight loss medication actually works, or something like that. So the chances of people clicking on it might be high. I don't know, but there's an ethical element, isn't it, when posting stuff? Like don't want to be too disingenuine for people to then look at your stuff and say, "Oh, no, I'm not going to click on this anymore." So I really don't know. So yeah, that was that video. That was quite good. And here's another, like an actual podcast I've done with my mate. So nice reach as well. It actually continues to rise ever so slightly, which is good. Watch time 85 hours. So the engagement, it only says 28 minutes, but I know that people that in my circle of friends have actually watched it to an extent. And those lines there, they represent different chapters. So people have clicked on, even it says 000, I know people have watched it. It is deflating when you see that, but you're playing with people's attention spans, and I'm proud of it, and I'm actually pretty proud of what I've been able to achieve in the past 6 months, because I can't even imagine what I would be doing for the past 6 months if I didn't start doing this. I'm really glad that I'm still sticking at it. There's so much to learn, so much to get into. The software editing, the equipment setup, finding what works, finding a workflow, just having a passion for something at this age is great, and it's so important. It is so good. So audience, there we go. A couple of returning viewers, unique views. That's because it was promoted clearly. Demographic. Why India? Maybe it's the time I'm posting it. Or, it's Australia and the Philippines, which is fine because we'll talk about the Philippines. But just trying to. I want to change that. I think I want to research how those demographics overall are impacting the reach. So, which is does my effing head in, I reckon. That's what it does. So, but no, quite full on, quite good. So I reckon it's been a good video even today. Like a lot of rambling. I'm pretty sure a lot of people might not actually look into it. I'll add, when you're doing the editing, you add some chapters when there's key topics being explained. Add some tags. It pretty much brings up even more detail-wise. But I will, I'll go back to channel dashboard. Here we go. So down to like the earning prospects of my channel. It's even with 14,000 people and an increase in viewers across shorts and all that, you go down to the earned element. The eligibility is still so low. Like I fulfilled this quite early, back in the piece. But I've only had 126 public view hours and I need 3,000. And over 6 months, I need to really work on the content. But even public shorts have done heaps. 35,000 people have looked at the shorts. And if I reach 3 million, then I could monetize it based on the shorts. But I won't be doing that because that's just I've got to work. I've got to work 40 hours a week. I've got family obligations. I've got health and well-being things to do. So this is a good hobby. And if, posting more videos overall, that's basically where it's at. So I have to have enough content out there to really gauge people's interest. And, hopefully, I'd like to monetize it, as I said. Extra money is great in this day and age, but if I was, I often think about I'm taking a bit of a relaxed stance now. I should sit up, Brett. Be a man. The thing that gets me, and there's no doubt in my mind that the guys that are fortunate enough to have been around long enough to make the money that they do, that it is going to a good place. But I'm not going to name any users, but I see some of them in the way that they choose to live with their fucking, what's his name? Asmongold. I'll say it, bad luck. You look at the way he lives, his house is absolutely, it's a fucking pigsty. It's terrible. It really, there's either mental health issues or there's a lot of real psychosocial disabilities that are going on in his life that, you can't even get a maid in to clean up after him or help him out with the amount of money that he's earning. The whole lifestyle for this younger generation to just sit around on a computer all fucking day, I don't get it. I can't do it. I do it as much as when I come home in the evening, but I still work out. I'm 46 years old, still going to the gym overnight, 3 or 4 days a week. I'm catching up with friends as best as possible. Still got to make time for family. Got to make time for my partner. Got to make time for this hobby in general. And if you're going to spend a lot of time in front of your computer all day, make sure you make content, or just make sure you're using your time effectively to learn a new skill, study, explore the world, create opportunities, plant a fucking seed, plant a seed. So, look, this has been great. I've really enjoyed it. I am part of me just goes, oh, okay, no one's really watched it. But it'd be nice, you know, eventually, you know, I don't know how to, like, promote. I have to look into how you can kind of, like, promote a video in advance. That, you know, so when you go live, you'll have an audience, perhaps, or something. I'm just not sure how it actually works effectively, you know, probably sitting there and having to schedule it and set up a timer, you know, or yeah, but I'm enjoying the journey, man. It's good fun. You get so much out of it, believe it or not, and yeah, I can't imagine what I would be doing otherwise, because it's his yeah, gotta love what you're doing, and I feel good about it. So thank you. Thanks for watching this. You know, if you're one of those people that has skipped to the very end, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for your time. Enjoy your evening, and you take care of yourself and your family.